From the 915 to H-Town, from the Panhandle Plains to the Valley, and everywhere in between, this is the 50/50 Podcast, powered by the 50/50 Podcast Network. Join me, Hector Cano, as we cover the Texas high school club and college soccer landscape, along with an inside look at the college soccer recruiting scene. The 50/50 Podcast is a platform about the people and for the people who are dedicated to the beautiful game. Here we go. We are back live from Moody Gardens here in Galveston, Texas for the 2024 TASCO Texas High School Soccer Coaches Convention. And we are joined live by, first and foremost, the man of the hour, Mr. Coach Jerry Hurtado himself, our 2024, one of our three 2024 TASCO Hall of Honor inductees. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
All right. Awesome. And I'm also joined by a guy that neither you or I can shake. This guy just won't go. He's like, I don't know, the Jason Freddy Cougar Michael Myers of Texas high school soccer. He is the head men's soccer coach of the Sterling Rangers. Baytown Sterling Rangers, I should say. Bryan Hayman, how are you, Coach?
I'm doing fantastic. This is my fourth time on the show. I still have not even gotten my scarf yet.
Your gold jacket. Hey, the
gold jacket or my scarf.
The gold jacket is I think it got affected by the storm. It got mailed out, man. I don't know. I got to tell you. So also, and I got to mention Coach Jerry, Coach Hurtado, also got to mention the head men's soccer coach at Deer Park.
Yes,
so excited to have some of H-Town, the greater H-Town area squads representing. So how are things?
Oh, everything's going great.
Yeah.
Going great.
Yeah. Pull up that mic a little closer to you.
Okay.
There you go. Perfect.
All right.
Perfect. Also, Coach, how about you? I know you're doing extra great.
We're
Right?
doing fantastic.
Yeah.
Just enjoying this weekend and sitting with Coach Keno till they kick us out.
Yeah. Yeah, it was awesome. It was a great time in fellowship yesterday. Got to say, excited to have you guys here for a number of reasons. You know, Coach Hurtado, we'll start with you. 2024 Hall of Honor inductee. Some awesome stuff, man. How do you feel about it? Take us through, like, how does the announcement happen? How do they tell? Do they do it like the NFL? A guy shows up knocking on your door and surprises you? How does that work?
I got a call. I was at home, and I got a call from Laura Peters, and she called me up and she gave me the news, and and it was just I was ecstatic. It was great feeling.
Yeah.
Great.
How do they present it? How do they present it? Do they just tell you, it's like, hey, welcome, this is you, or is it kind of poke and prod, ask some questions, and then just kind of surprise you with it?
She just came right out and told me, and I was really excited.
Yeah.
And it was a good moment for me.
Yeah. It's awesome. I do got to say, I was both Bryan and we were having a kick at. I was like, dude, when this picture that they got of you for the when is that picture for? It's like, that's Jerry. Oh, that was awesome. I was like, I saw that picture. I was like, I got to give him grief about it when I see him. Yeah, no, that's like seeing me with hair, right? Yeah, just looks different. But no, that's awesome. So, Hall of Honor, for those who may not be familiar, just take us a little bit through, like, what is that process even look like, and what does it mean to you?
So, the process for me was I got I was notified that I had been nominated, and they send me a questionnaire, things that just information about your coaching career and things like that, and then you send it back in, and I imagine they have quite a few, and then they sort through them, and I think they do some voting and all of that, and I think after the senior game, and I think that's when they do it. But it's an amazing. TASCO is so well organized at what they do.
Absolutely.
And I think highly of it. They're very organized, and they have a method to all that madness.
Yeah. I was here this morning. Our first interview was with Perry Vanderbeek. And if you know anything about him in terms of his relation, he's touched the game on so many levels, going back to all his time with the U.S. men's national team in the dark ages, right? The late 70s, early 80s, mid 80s. And then all his work in the USL as well. And, he was here last year, and he talked about TASCO, just how incredibly impressed at the level of professionalism, right? And the organization, the organization process of the organization, right? So pretty awesome, pretty great stuff. So tonight's the big night, right?
Yes,
Ceremony, dinner, everything. Got to give the big speech, right? Are you ready for that? What do you think?
I'm not normally very nervous speaking,
Yeah.
but I'm a little nervous here. It's a little intimidating, I guess.
Yeah.
It's you're
Amongst your peers.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's a little different when you're talking to peers. Talking
Yeah.
to kids, it's different. But
Right.
I'm a little nervous about it, but we'll hopefully things will go right.
Yeah. Yeah. So we got 2 side bets going, right? Over under as to how long he will speak, and then how long before he starts tearing up, getting emotional. What do we think there, Coach Hayman?
Over under on speech length. I told him he's got to keep it under an hour.
An hour. Wow.
So we've got plans. No, but over under about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
15, 16 minutes. And then how long until he starts tearing up? He's been doing it already.
Yeah.
So,
I can see it, man. I can see it. Yeah. I can feel it. Yeah.
We've had some conversations over the past couple of weeks about this and just how incredible it is for him. And, for me, I've known him for 19 years, and there's not a better person out there
Absolutely
than this guy right here. And he's one of my closest friends. And I'm so like, I almost want to tear up for him because I've seen what he's done and I see what he does every day. And to me, there's nobody more deserving than this guy right here. So.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
Your reputation definitely precedes you, Coach. Just I'd heard so many great things about you, even before we sat down when you joined us on the podcast, right, for an episode. And then everything I've heard even since then has just been fascinating. So when I found out, I was ecstatic for you. I was very, very excited, very happy for you. So, I mean, I echo all of Coach Hayman's thoughts, just incredibly deserving. So
thank you very much.
Very well done and very happy for you. And hey, if you feel that emotion coming on tonight, you let it go, man. You've earned it. You've earned it. You've earned it. So we transition here a little bit. Talk about just general thoughts here, TASCO, the convention. Obviously, it's a little different for you this year, but between the both of you and Coach Hayman, thoughts on the convention so far, the vibe, everything, what's going on?
It's been great. It's I was talking with a couple of coaches earlier today, and I said, man, it's so great to see people. We see people once a year here at TASCO, but it's so great to see them. It's like it continues where it left off last year, and we had great fellowship last year, and then we come right back this year, and we just go right back to it.
Yeah.
And the level of coaching education has been good. There's been some great sessions. It's they just every year they raise the bar that little bit more.
Best session, best thing your biggest takeaway, best thing you've enjoyed so far this year.
I like seeing just the different sessions and seeing the little wrinkles that coaches put into their sessions, and whether it's maybe it's a starting point of an activity, or maybe it's a restriction they put on their activity, or maybe it's the way they want their players to move and things like that. Those are things that I can look at and say, okay, that works. We can try that. Or like my assistant coach, he's brand new this year. We looked at some stuff and he goes, Coach, I don't understand why he was doing this. I was like, well, okay, is that something we would do? Yes, no. Okay, no, what would we do then? How do we fix it?
Yeah.
But that brings out the discussion that, for me, I get to work with my staff and educate them a little bit better and go from there.
Yeah. How about you, Coach?
I just the level of teachers now, of coaches that are getting up there.
Yeah.
Extremely high.
Yeah.
And for me coming in this year, with our team, we were really looking at going to a 3-back system, and listening to a few coaches talk about and bring me back a little bit to the 4-back, and he's talking a lot about how the big name teams do it, where they're able to get more numbers up front with it, and I'm beginning to, you come here and you almost change your mind a little bit. You start to think of other things, and maybe put to work at the right time, because we start next week, the week after. So
right.
I like this. I just love this, and I love the camaraderie. I mean, these are your brothers. These are the ones that are out on the field with you. These are the ones that are out there doing the same thing you're doing, and the same struggles.
Right.
They're all feeling and doing the same thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of right before we go out onto the field. It's just really kind of cool to get together and say, hey, man, get the excitement, feel it all coming on.
Yeah.
So
it's been great. It's been fun. I've enjoyed it. And, this is our third year here covering it with the podcast, and it's just the level that I feel like we've been embraced as the podcast here this year has felt different, like a good different, like kind of next level different.
Right.
And, and I've been appreciative for, to our TASCO board members, President Chris Besner, our Vice President Rob Bledsoe, our COO and Jimmy Kruger, just to name a few, all our regional directors as well. They've been incredible, just accommodating, supportive of us. We're grateful for them. And we're just, as I often say, I kind of have the best seat in the house, right? Being able to do that. And then we couple it with just a great group of guests that we've had on since yesterday. And then I get to come here, talk with you guys, it's like pretty blessed, man. Pretty blessed.
Well, I'm blessed too.
Yeah. So let's talk about, we switch gears here. Let's talk about, the upcoming season, right? We're on the eve of it, right? Obviously, right after Thanksgiving break, we are on the verge of, what will be probably the most historic season in Texas high school soccer in a minimum of a decade, from the implementation of 6A to probably maybe when we changed our format for penalties, right? You think about some of those growths, some of those key changes in our game, but two, right? The Division I, Division II state champion split, right? Small school, big school. And then also the one that just came out was the implementation of the mercy rule. I think in our world, we had a lot of people that had suspicion that this was going to be implemented. But I think for me, and speaking for me, I was just shocked that boom, we're doing it now, right? That was, I think, the big one. What are your thoughts on, let's tackle maybe the D1, D2 split first. What are your thoughts on those?
I think it's had a long time coming. I think football's been doing it. You've seen the success of that.
Yeah.
And I think that it just adds to the flavor of the sport. I think that now you're going to see just a whole different level of competition. You're going to see now, what used to be the Final Four might now not basically two of those will win state.
Yeah.
And I think that makes for just a better flavor overall when it comes to our sport.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about it. I know that we're always going to be the big school, one of those big schools. So we're probably always going to play Atascocita or North Shore in the big schools over there.
Yeah.
So
I guess it's easier when you know your fate no matter what.
Right.
Yeah. When you know your fate no matter what. Yeah. How about you, Coach?
I think it's good because it gives more opportunities to recognize teams. We've always said, we had the 1-6A, the 1-5A, the 1-4A. We have 3 state champions and boys and girls, but now we're going to have, 6 state champions, boys,
or 12. We'll have 12.
6 state champions on the girls side. So we're going to have 12 state championship teams. We're going to have kids that are going to get that opportunity that, maybe they're not going to get because of the size of their school or where they are in the playoff run, So, anything we can do to get more kids to have those experiences is a bonus in my book.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I would not disagree. I definitely wouldn't disagree. I think it's just a matter of, I think it adds another level of excitement. And I'm kind of curious. I've been calling my shot saying that I think this year we will see on some level, boys, girls, one of these classifications. I think we may see 2 state champions, same classification, D1, D2 from the same district.
That's possible.
I think I'm calling my shot on that one already. So I don't know. We'll see. But now then we shifting over to the mercy rule, right? Thoughts. This one gets a lot of people fired up for different reasons in different directions. Thoughts on these, personal thoughts?
I probably don't have a favorable opinion of it. Yeah. I guess mainly because I don't like changing the game. I don't anything that wants to change the game. This isn't the way they do it in Europe. This isn't the way the game is played everywhere else. And we keep changing the game here in Texas, and it's not our right to. This is the pitch. This is the game, and I still think it's the greatest game in the world.
Right.
And I think what we need to focus on, rather than making rules like that before we do it, is let's teach coaches better. Let's have our athletic directors have those talks, with coaches.
Yeah.
And give them ways in which they can deal with the fact that they're up 5-0.
Yeah.
there's things that can happen. Yeah.
Right.
I know a lot of people don't like to pass the ball or move the ball and things like that, but
Mhm.
there are so many things that can happen, even if it's a situation where, hey, this one kid is going to be able to score. On the other side of things, I don't want the game cut off. I mean, this is also an opportunity for some kids that probably never get to play,
Right.
to get into the game.
Yeah.
And that goes on both sides. I've been down 5-6-0 before, and it gave me an opportunity to try some new kids,
Mhm.
give them an
Yeah.
opportunity to play. I'm never going to be in favor of changing the game, cutting minutes off of a game.
Mhm.
We go out and we work hard every week to play 40-minute halves. Let us play 40-minute halves.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Great point, Coach.
I'm also against it, and I look at it from the other point of view. When I was at Bonham, according to this Marcy rule, I would have had 9 games ended early. That's 20 minutes early, 9 games. That's losing technically 2 games, almost 2.5 games. That's my opportunity to coach. That's 2.5 games of playing time for kids I've lost. When you're down 8-7-8-0, those other coaches, a lot of times they pull their starters and they put their reserves on. May not be the same skill level, but they may be the same skill level as my starters.
Mhm.
Now my starters have the opportunity to maybe achieve a little success. Maybe we string 3 or 4 passes together. Maybe we get a couple shots off. That's something that's some confidence that I can build to my next training session. That's something I can build. If I'm down 8-0 and the game ends with 20 minutes to go, I don't get those opportunities. Now I got to take those kids who just had that mercy rule put on them. I got to get them back on a bus, or I got to take them back to the locker room, and I got to somehow try to build their confidence back up. Hey, we can do this. It's okay. So for me, I'm not in favor of it. I think there's ways to be around it. I've been on both sides.
Mhm.
There's a right way and a wrong way to beat someone 8-0, but for someone like on the bottom side, I want them to have those opportunities to play. I mean,
Yeah.
how many schools are going to get multiple mercy rules this year? How much time are those players going to get? And for my player number 15 or 16 on the bench, that might be their chance. That might be their only chances to play, to experience high school soccer.
Yeah.
And we're taking that away from them. So for me, like Coach Hurtado, I'm not in favor of it.
Yeah.
I think there's a way to be better.
Well, and there's a lot of schools of thought on this in terms of you're less likely to see it. You're far less likely to see it at the 6A level,
Mhm.
and in many cases at the 5A level, but you'll still see it occasionally. It's not like you're not going to see it,
Yeah.
but probably more susceptible at the 4A level, right? Particularly because you have 3As and 2As that are trying to, they're trying to stand up programs, right? So and I get that part, right? I get that part. So, kind of be interesting to see how year 1 is implemented. And I think, but I agree with you, Coach Hurtado. I think it's not as simple as implement a new rule, implement a new policy, and that's it. I think the other half of the growth has to happen. The shift has to also happen with, let's develop our coaches a little bit better. So I would definitely agree with that part for sure. So, now thoughts, upcoming season, 24-25 season. How are you guys looking? How are you feeling about your squads, both Deer Park and Sterling? How are you guys feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm got a group of kids that are coming back as starters, and I'm just excited to see them play.
Mhm.
I don't know where we'll finish. We all don't know that, but I really feel like our kids are ready. They've had a really good off season. We break up our off season into phases, and phase 1 and phase 2 were some of the strongest we've had, and then this phase 3 as we head into right before we start the season has been really good. We're in good shape.
Good.
Very proud of the boys and getting ready for the season. Now it's just time to get on the pitch.
There you go. Coach?
And we're gonna roll it out and see what happens. I mean, like I told someone last night, hey, I think we could finish anywhere between 1st and 8th.
That's a great analysis here by Coach Hayman, Bryan Hayman.
Hey, you're gonna get the obvious answers here, but we've got some returning players from a team that made the playoffs 2 years in a row. So for us, there is some confidence there. We're going to be really young. We're going to be really immature.
You're not as young as last year, though, right?
No, we're younger this year than we
Younger?
were last year. Yeah.
Are you? Oh, wow. Okay.
So, we're going to be really, we got a lot of sophomores that we feel like are going to step right into the varsity. We're really, I tell my kids, I go, we're real young, we're real immature, but sometimes immature teams are fun to coach because, they're not, they don't understand the situation sometimes.
Sometimes what they don't know can work in their favor.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're not going to be intimidated by the big light. They may be intimidated first by the big lights, but once they get out there and just start playing, we'll see how it all goes. So, we're excited for that. And we got some kids that have done some really good, a lot of hard work in the off season. Have gotten on some better club teams and are, they're getting out there, they're getting the minutes, and we'll see how it all looks in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Great stuff. Now, the last piece, right? Something that many people may not know about you guys is you're doing exceptional work. I know, Jerry, when I interviewed you, had you on the podcast for a full episode, you were then director, and you guys have now switched roles at San Jacinto FC, right? Heavily involved in your club development, and what you guys are doing for your community there is awesome stuff. How are things there? Tell us a little bit about that.
Things are going very, very well. I think Bryan, the one of the best moves I think we made was making Bryan the director. He's very good at it, and his knowledge of all of the logistics of the game, it really come out, and you can see the leadership quality. He's really come through. Bryan's been a big part of what we've done, and we've been able to grow as a club together. Yeah. So we have our first girls team this year.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I was able to coach girls for the first time. I've never done that before.
God bless you.
Yeah, it was actually
it's fun, isn't it?
Great
It's fun.
Experience.
It's fun.
It really was.
Hey, I was that same guy that said when I first entered coaching, there's no way, and you know what, that you're going to get me to coach girls, coach women, and then I coached my daughter's team. And then somehow, next thing you know, I'm coaching a D1 women's soccer team at the Air Force Academy. It's like, what? And it's just sometimes the side of I call it the side of the house, right? Sometimes the side of the house picks you. And ever since then, I had this question yesterday, actually. It's like, so do you just focus or specialize on the women's side? It's like, no, it just kind of happened that way.
Right.
It just kind of happened that way. So what's been your big takeaway there, though, coaching on the girls' side?
Girls are just extremely coachable.
Yeah.
They're very coachable.
Yeah, they're not hard-headed like us, man.
No,
they're not hard-headed.
They're not. And they're willing to go out and try things.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, it's just been a very great experience.
Yeah.
The girls that have worked extremely hard, and they practice hard. You don't have to really get them motivated to get out there and get it done. Yeah. They're there, they're going to do it.
Yeah.
So that's been a really good takeaway for me. It's been fun.
Do you feel like that's kind of giving you some fuel as you get ready coming back over to the high school side?
Yeah. I mean, Bryan being the director, it's allowed me to coach again.
Yeah. And, that's true. That's true.
And it's
just that in itself.
That's me. I fit better there.
Yeah.
And it's been a good fit. I'm back. I have a 2013 team, little guys.
Yeah.
And then I have this girls team, and it's you can see I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's awesome.
And we're helping a lot of kids, and and I credit Bryan and
which is the best part of what you guys are doing. Yeah.
Something that you have to admire is all these high school head coaches that come out, and they don't have any ties to a lot of these kids. They just want to help them play. They want to find a way to help them financially to play the game and be able to play at the level everybody else does. And it's been a really cool thing. Yeah. And I'm thankful for Bryan because he stepped right in and has had this club's back all the way. So.
Mr. Director, thoughts?
Well, I mean, it's been a fun fall season, and I think going into being a director, last year I was coaching one team, so it was 10 games. That's all I had to worry about. Now we have 10 teams, 10 games each. So, I'm driving all over, trying to be at games, whether I'm there for a half or I'm there for the last 15 minutes or the first 15. I want to see all of our teams play and, be supportive of the kids and be supportive of the coaches. I'm never going to tell a coach what to do. Hey, you should be playing this or playing that. Find what works for you. But if you have questions and if you need help, I'm here to help. Been very pleased. This year I stepped away from our 06 blue team, which has been our top team for the past couple of years. And, we added a couple players, and they're league champions for a third straight year. You know, we're going to see how they do next weekend in Austin at the Lone Star Cup, or College Showcase. But seeing those kids develop, you know, I was telling Jerry the other day, in 3 years, they've lost 2 league games in 3 years. And it's just, that's the amount of work we've done there. And it's not the same team. The same team we had 3 years ago is not the same, but they just continue to do the things we do. You know, we had a strong 2006 second team that pushed them. Our 08s were, you know, I think right now they're sitting in second, and we'll see what happens the rest of the games. Our 209 teams are pretty good little teams that are learning the game well. Our 10s are developing. Our 11s, and this is one of the best things here. We've got 2 young kids that played for Coach Hurtado that are coaching. That are coaching now.
Oh, they're on the coaching side.
They're on the coaching side now, and they're coaching our 2011 program. They have 2 teams there, and it's great to see them out there because they're learning and they're getting better as coaches. And then Jerry's 2013 team, which is a lot of fun to watch sometimes. Yeah. And then sometimes we pull our hair out with them, but you know, it's been good. And then watching Jerry coach the girls has been it is the highlight of my weekend sometimes. You know, it really is, because you really see how much he loves coaching and how much he loves the game. And then there's those moments where he comes over and goes, "Coach, I think that girl's crying." I'm like, well, maybe you shouldn't yell at her so much. He goes, "But if I yell at my guys, they get the job done." Well, this is a little different. But, you know, those girls responded really well to him. And, you know, they understand that we're not yelling at them because we don't like them. We're yelling at them because we see potential. We want them to be better. Right. You know, so watching him with those girls teams has been great. Watching him get back on the field, you know, it makes me happy. That's good. If that means I got to step away and do that, you know, I'm happy to do that, and I'm happy to watch this club grow, and we'll continue to grow and find new ways to continue to offer our program to the kids that want to. It's been great because we've had a lot of kids that have just, you know, they hit us up on the Instagram that we have, or the Facebook page that we have. "Hey, do you have tryouts? When are y'all having tryouts? When are you having tryouts?" And they want to come to be a part of it. You know, we're reaching out. You know, the people are seeing, "Hey, this team is being successful. This team is being successful. I want to come play for that team." And we probably have a list of about 25, 30 kids that want to come try out with us. Like, they want to come practice with us Tuesday when we practice. They want to be out there. Yeah. And it's like, "Oh, sorry, you're on another team right now. You come during our transfer window. We'll see what we can do." But that's a testament to our staff, our coaches, and our whole program. We want to play the game the right way. You know, you're not going to see us, you know, disrespecting the game in any way, shape, or form. We're going to play the game the right way. And I think parents see that, and they want their kids to see it, you know, and be a part of something like that. Yeah, so that's awesome. Good for us.
So what's the layout? So you said 10 teams. Is that nine boys, 1 girls?
9 boys, 1 girl. Yeah.
So you're the director, and then what's the coaching staff layout? How many coaches?
We have 8 coaches.
Yeah.
Jerry coaches 2 teams. We have another coach. He coaches 2 teams. So, you know, we make it work. You know, we look at the schedule every Sunday. So, okay, here's what we got coming up. You know.
And you guys have been around how long now?
This is 5 years.
5 years. So pre-pandemic, right before the pandemic.
Right. We came
right before.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
we were Avanti, and COVID shut us down.
Yeah.
And we had basically we went up.
Rebrand everything.
Rebrand everything.
Yeah, great stuff. And you know, the interesting piece too, with him being the director, and yet somehow, Coach, he has the time to make it to every U.S. men's national team game, right? The super fan, right?
Find a way.
The super fan. And I do have to mention this on a side note. Very appreciative, Coach Hayman, for the that memorabilia, those posters that he hooked me up with, some great posters.
Awesome.
And you know, I'm a big U.S. men's national team super fan in my own right, not like this level, but yeah, definitely happy, and I appreciate that, Coach.
Absolutely,
thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. So as we start wrapping up, guys, kind of this is our stoppage time, free opportunity to tell us shout outs, thank yous, anything that's on your mind as it relates to the game. This is your opportunity. And Coach Hayman, we'll start with you.
First off, Hector, thanks for tolerating me again. I appreciate that.
That's been great, man.
It's always great. But I want to throw a big shout out to Coach Hurtado. This weekend is, you know, for me, this is about him, and I'm so blessed to be a part of this. I'm so excited to be part of this. I'm excited to. You know, I haven't sat through a Hall of Honor speech in a few years, so I literally told him I'm going to be there to hear you speak, And as soon as you're done, I'm getting up and leaving, going to the bar, and I'll wait for him when he gets there. But for me, I've known him for so long, and to me, this is a culmination of all of his successes, and it's something that I'm blessed to just be a part of it, and just or not be a part of it, just share it. With him.
Sure. Yeah.
And he's got well over 400 wins, plenty of them against me. In my career, I'm a good number on that list.
Yeah.
So, but it's always been, coaching against him. It's never been we've had some great matchups between our teams, and we still walk over at the end of the game, no matter how intense that game was or how frustrating certain things are. Still walk over and I get a big hug from him.
Yeah,
and
that's how it should be.
Yeah,
man. That's how it should be.
I'm just, like I said, this weekend was about him for me, and I'm so excited to be. Whether I'm the club director watching one of my staff coaches go in the Hall of Honor, or I'm a high school coach watching one of my colleagues or I'm just Bryan Hayman here with one of my best friends in the world, and I'm watching this. So for me, it's a big honor. So that's my shout out. So
great stuff,
Thank
Coach.
You, brother. It's I'm just this is just something I just never. I don't know. I don't picture myself as I don't know. How do I say this? I'm very humbled.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's the word.
Yeah.
Very humbled, and tonight's going to be hard. It's and not in a bad way. I mean,
right.
Coaches like Bryan Hayman being out there, and all of these, hopefully a lot of my friends and brothers will be out there. Will be there. And just going out there and looking at all of those brothers out there, that's what this is all about.
Yeah.
All of us making the greatest sport in the world what it is. And let's not forget you, because I got to tell you, this sport needs you. This sport needs more of you. And I'm pretty sure you can handle it all on your own. But
no.
Being able to get the word out and being able to get people excited about something that's going on in soccer is something that's been necessary for a long time.
I agree.
You have radio stations that'll have like a soccer moment with a person, and but it's not advertised, it's not promoted.
Mm-hmm.
But you've gone out there, and I've ever since I was on the first time, it seems like everybody knows what the 50/50 podcast is. And it's something that I take a listen to. It's something that you have brought. You have brought what this coaches needed. We needed it. This game needed it, and so you're just another part of that. And so, as this game, I'm excited. This game keeps growing. It keeps getting better. And it's because you guys, guys like Bryan that are stepping up to help young men play the game and that normally couldn't afford it. You getting the word out for us, you getting the word out for all of these coaches, letting people know the great things that are going on with all these coaches.
Absolutely.
And the game, giving us a chance to talk about the subject of the mercy rule. Giving us a chance to be heard is, other sports have that. Now we do. And I'm thankful, very thankful.
One last thing I just want to say, and this is something about Jerry. 2 years ago, he asked me to take over a team that his son was on, and I got the privilege of coaching his son. And, we've had questions about him and all that, but to me, when he asked me to take that team, that's one of the biggest honors I've had as a coach is when someone asks you, hey, I want you to coach my kid. Yeah. And I want you to help him.
Absolutely.
And, I'll tell you this, is for those that don't know Xavier, man, he is outstanding young man. He will be, if he wants to be a college soccer player, he will be a college soccer player. If he wants to kick field goals in college, he can do that as well. He's talented enough to do so. And that's a testament to Jerry. And for me, that's an honor that I got that opportunity that he asked me to do that. So I took that as I'm very blessed. So
great
stuff.
stuff.
He's a good kid.
Great stuff.
And you did a great job with him.
And Zach's a great kid too. I don't want to leave him out on this one. He'll never let me hear the end of it.
My Zach, he's my Zach he's my defender.
Okay.
He's the one that whereas Xavier was mainly up there in the front.
Right.
Zach's my defender, and he plays it like that.
Yeah. You need both, man.
You know?
You need both, right? You need both. Such great stuff. Thank you guys. And thank you for the kind words as well, Coach. Humbled by them. But like I said, I just, for me, if I felt like it was a no-brainer. It was, if we could play, we feel like we've been blessed to just play a small role in just being able to contribute to helping give this sport the coverage that it so much deserved, has earned, and needed, and still needs, right? Still needs. But I think when I come here, right, I think what kind of warms my heart the most is to see the level of commitment and passion, and most of all, pride that a lot of our coaches have in being a Texas high school soccer coach.
Yes.
It's awesome. I don't know that you could have said that 5 years ago. I don't know if you could have said that, or beyond 10 years ago, but I think we got a lot of work to do still, but I think we're all, as a sport, I'm excited. I think we're trending in the right direction. We got a lot of work to do, but being able to share moments like this with you tonight, being the man of the hour, is awesome. Love it. And really glad that we had the chance to sit down and talk. So appreciate
Thank you so much.
Best of luck with everything tonight
Appreciate you,
and beyond. And see if you can make it to 500 wins and beat him a few more times, that'd be awesome too.
I make sure I don't put him on the schedule. I know better.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you,
Coach.
very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. All right. And one last plug before we forget. Don't forget, next Wednesday, November 27th, the return of Inside Texas High School Soccer, our preview show, episode 1, will be live on the air along with the Obi-Wan Kenobi of Texas High School Soccer, Rafa himself. Him and I will discuss all things of what season 5 of Inside Texas High School Soccer would look like. So join us on that particular day. More info to come soon. We'll be putting that out on social media shortly. And don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more live coverage of the 2024 TASCO Texas High School Soccer Coaches Convention here in Moody Gardens in Galveston, Texas.